Folks, I am here on the right side of the screen, which usually means we are talking about a champion or some new news that came out inside Raid Shadow Legends, but today we are doing some artifact enhancements. We do actually have an artifact enhancement event that's going on for another 1 day and 11 hours with some okay goodies in here. I'm mainly just excited to get the almost one shard from this, and then obviously the energy is quite nice too, considering that the new event dungeon is out. Farming the hell out of that, that's basically where all of my energy is going currently. I'm fully convinced that Plarium caught on to the fact that I was farming the Minotaur's Labyrinth in between fusions, so they released this to give me something else to do instead of that, because they didn't want me to progress my account. But it is what it is. We shan't complain. More content is good content. So let's go ahead. What are we doing today? We are doing a gear cleanse. During the most recent CVC, I did actually cleanse over 500... Sorry, I crafted over 500 pieces of gear, about 200 of which were perception, and then about maybe 30 of which were kind of lethal sets, and then some other sets in there, and then probably about another 250 of which were the other set, the kind of trash set that nobody talks about, the resilience set. So we're going to go ahead and cleanse the remnants of that. I do also have a lot of other gear in here from just regular dungeon farming, and speaking of which, we do have a lot of pinpoint gear to go through as well. It doesn't look like much right now, but there is far, far more to the pinpoint gear, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about that as well. And we'll go through here and just see what kind of stats we're wanting on this gear and all that sort of good stuff. Let's start at the top. We have the curse set. I don't have much on the curse set right now, so I definitely need more pieces. We have some speed, defense, and HP. We'll roll it to 12 and see what we can hit. I'm probably going to sell that just because it doesn't have any sort of speed or anything like that. Although I don't have a good shield and it is a 6-star piece, so I can probably still make use of it. Frenzy set. This one is a mythical piece which rolled into speed. If we get some speed rolls here, that'd be quite nice. We do have speed and accuracy. So we have a double roll speed and a double roll accuracy, essentially. We can still roll this to 16 and get something even better as well. We have 48 million silver. Let's go ahead and roll it to 16. We get flat stat HP because of course we do. Again though, I don't have many frenzy pieces. I'm going to go ahead and keep that. We have an immunity set, which I'm probably not going to end up using, but it does have a defense roll. We get a double defense. Not really what I'm looking for though. This would be a good piece for defensive nuker. Although I'm trying to think, because defensive nukers on my account, I'm probably not running them in an immunity set, right? Like, if you think about like a Ragash or a Harima or something like that, I'm probably more interested in like speed being on there or something like that. We do have an attack percentage main stat with speed and accuracy substat on a Savage boot. We do get a roll into each. I don't have too much Savage currently, so we are actually going to go ahead and keep that. Not too sure why this was kept, honestly. This should have been filtered out by my cell settings. There's no crit rate or crit damage or anything on there. This one's going to be a sell, 5-star piece. This one's going to be a roll, actually. So this is a 6-star attack main stat boot with crit damage, speed, and some terrible rolls. I don't think I can judge, or I don't think I can keep this, judging on where my account is currently. This is a fantastic piece, but it is 5-star, so I'm not really interested in keeping it. We'll go ahead and take this one to 12. We do have a low roll on the speed, so if it's going to be a speed main piece, we'll need a lot of rolls into it. That's not bad. I don't have many shields from Cruel, so we'll probably end up keeping that. We do have another decently potential piece right here with a little bit of crit rate, crit damage, and HP. Not the best rolls, though, in all honesty. I'm probably going to sell that just because I do have to be quite picky with these particular sets now. This is... You know what? Honestly, it's a 5-star piece. I'm probably not going to use it. It's going to go. This one has some accuracy, some speed, and some defense, which is pretty much exactly what we want on an immortal champion, or a champion that we'd be putting into immortal set. The only thing that you could argue here is you might want this to be HP percentage instead of defense percentage, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to roll it up to 16. Anyways, and we get a speed roll. This is a fantastic piece. Low rolls into the speed, unfortunately, though. We hit 2 rolls of 4, but it is what it is. Having that for some sort of a solo champion or something like that is going to be fantastic. This one, we're really just interested in the speed, so we're going to go ahead and sell it if it doesn't roll speed. This one, honestly, I'm taking straight to 16. No matter what it rolls, this is going to be a good piece. This is a decent piece now for an HP-based nuker, especially if it's somebody who's trying to place some debuffs. So maybe like a Magnar in PvE or something like that. I don't know many HP-based nukers that are placing debuffs these days. We got a triple into the crit rate with HP as well. It is an epic piece, though, so we're probably not going to be keeping that. Just not really good enough, in my opinion. Speed and double accuracy on this is quite nice. So we're going to go ahead and sell the other piece here. I got a new headset recently as well, which you probably can't tell because it's the exact same headset, just new, because my other one actually had a cord on it, which the way my desk is laid out, it would basically like come down and then kind of run across my keyboard. And then so a lot of times if I lean forward in a game or something like that, it would actually get pinched between my desk and me. So over time, the cable actually wore out and it started seeping out like all sorts of nasty chemicals and stuff like that that you have inside. This is a decent piece, by the way, that you have inside the cord, or, you know, just whatever wraps the wires essentially, and it was getting all over. I look at my arm one day and it was like all just like coated in it, and I was like, yeah, we probably don't want that. So I went out and bought a new one. I love the headset. Got the same headset. This is the Corsair Void Pro, I think it's called. This one is the wireless version. It was on sale. I was like, you know what, now's a pretty good time to upgrade. Went ahead and did that. When I got the new headset, the other ones obviously were broken in a lot more because I had them for probably like 4 or 5 years. And I didn't realize how much audio was kind of just seeping out. So I play stuff like Counter-Strike and Tarkov and those sorts of things, and I had to have the audio quite high to actually hear anything. I was like, this is weird. I thought I was just like, you know, getting old or something. But yeah, it turns out that there was audio kind of just seeping out because they weren't sealing my ears as tight as they used to. So now with this new headset, I can basically hear a mouse fart across the map with like half the volume. So it's pretty fantastic. This is an okay piece. Crit rate, double attack, some speed on there as well. We got, I'm kind of rolling through these. You can kind of see what we're selling, what we're keeping as I go. This is a crit rate piece with triple accuracy. Oh, I think we're going to rework that and hope for speed on. So we got crit rate, we got HP, attack, and HP. Oh, that is terrible. That is disgusting. Get out of here. Ew. Ugh. Oh. Hello, mama. Okay. This piece is looking a little more juicy. Oh. Now, this would be better if it was like actually no, the main stat is perfectly fine. It'd be better if we had a bit more rolls into speed or something like that, but you know what? A defense piece that has a quad roll of accuracy on it, I will take that. That's 50 accuracy. You pair this with another piece from Perception, you're then getting, what, 90 accuracy with those two pieces alone, not to consider accuracy that might be on the other piece as well. So that's fantastic. I'm definitely going to keep that. This one has some good potential attack, main stat, crit rate, crit damage, but we don't roll well, so we're going to get rid of it. Attack boots with no speed on the substat. I'm not sure how these made it through, actually, because there's no crit rate, there's no crit damage, there's no speed, there's no accuracy. Definitely going to be a sell on both of those. I do need more affinity breaker pieces as well, especially for building out somebody like a ninja with inside the Sand Devil, so we're going to sell that, though. Not a very good piece. I have been getting a lot more protection gear recently, mainly because of the personal rewards that have been put out for CVC, which is a fantastic update, by the way. Being able to work through. This is actually a pretty decent piece. Let's go ahead and ascend it, see what we get. I have 14,000 of the small oil, so I'm okay with sending some stuff. We have, like, you know, a couple hundred of the bigger oils, though, but we don't talk about that, I suppose. Speed, resistance, HP on this particular piece. This is damn near perfect for a protection set, so we're going to go ahead and take it to 16. We get some more HP on there as well. Let's go ahead and ascend it again with those small oils. We get attack, unfortunately. I don't have any champions built out currently in protection set. I might have like 1 or 2 pieces on them here or there. This is a very good piece as well, by the way. I might have 1 or 2 pieces on them here or there, basically just on like... Actually, no, that's a lie. I do have 1 champion built out. This is fantastic, by the way. I don't know what my camera's doing. I'm just looking over and it's like all blurry. But this is fantastic, having the speed, the HP, a little bit of accuracy. Probably don't need that on most of the champions I'd run in it, though. Let's go ahead and ascend it as well. But yeah, I do actually have my Pythion. Another attack extension. I have my Pythion built out in like a 5-piece or something like that. These are like ideal stats, by the way, for protection. Basically, what it's doing is when you have a champion that's placing a buff, this gives it a chance to be protected. If you think about the champions that are placing buffs, generally it's going to be some sort of a tank or a support champion. So think your Pythions, your Duchesses, your Lydias, any sort of champions like that. So generally you're going to want survivability stats, or you're going to want like accuracy stats, because a lot of times the champions that are buffing your team also happen to be debuffing the enemy team. So if you think like specifically Eostrids, if you think Lydias, those sorts of champions, right? I can't think of any off the top of my head, but then, though, at the 9-piece set bonus, we have a 75% chance to place a protect buff, which is pretty damn good. And then allies deal 5% more damage per each buff placed by the wearer. So if you take an Eostrid, for example, who has a relatively small number of buffs in her kit, which is like only 2 or something like that, she's still going to be boosting your allies' damage by 10%, which is pretty fantastic. This is another good piece right here. This one, not so much. We don't have speed or anything like that, so I think we're probably going to go ahead and sell it. It is a 6-piece helmet, though, which is quite nice. Take everything with a bit of a grain of salt, by the way, and I always say this in the videos. I'm kind of a late transitioning into endgame player. I would consider myself endgame except for basically maybe 2 to 3 areas. So in my particular clan, I'm a top 10 performer inside the siege mode every single time, basically. Both with like defensive victories, offensive victories, all that sort of good stuff. So I'm definitely pushing more towards the end game there because I am in a tier 6 clan. I'm not really end game in City of Centrano, so I'm not beating up each rotation just because I can't be bothered to consistently re-gear champions, especially once that starts eating into your silver pools and whatnot. And then I'm probably not end game in Hydra either, just because I do have I hit the lowest 3 difficulties, so I don't do Nightmare Hydra at this particular point, even though I have the champions to do it. But again, it comes down to gearing champions, because at the end of the day, most of my champions are geared for PvP, and those builds don't necessarily carry over all that well to PvE. So just, a bit of things holding me back, but I'm probably going to be working on that a little bit in the future, focusing a bit more on Hydra, especially how good the rewards are out of it these days. It'd be nice to start farming those Nightmare chests, even if not just for the Hydra Clash, more so just to get, like, the extra shards, right? Or, whatever you might want out of it. Attack and accuracy, protection piece, crit damage on there as well. We're going to keep that at 12. I might use that on some sort of a freak champion someday. This could be an interesting piece. Let's see how it rolls. We're already down like 6 or 7 million silver. We get 2 rolls on the flat stat HP. That's definitely going to be a sell. The one thing that I think everybody absolutely loves about mythical gear is just how much money it sells for. My god, you can get rich with mythical pieces. Each one is selling for like 100k plus, which is pretty nice. That's going to be a sell. Sell. Killstroke is 20% crit damage and 5% speed, so it's basically just a better version of the crit damage set, like a significantly better version. So you're looking for all the same sort of damage stats that you'd look for on any sort of gear set. So you're looking for your crit damages, your crit rates, your speeds, and in your attack, defense, or HP. You're not really looking for resistance or accuracy in most cases, I wouldn't say. This is a very solid piece, by the way. This is an HP nuker piece, high rolls on basically everything except speed, double roll onto crit rate, and then a roll into HP as well. Fantastic piece. Definitely glad to have that on my account. That's going to probably make its way onto like a Taurus or somebody like that someday. Pretty crappy helmets, though, unfortunately. This stuff is quite expensive, all things considered. You're essentially just farming it through the clan shop. And for the 6-star guaranteed pieces, I think it's like 200 clan gold per piece, or 150 or something crazy like that. Let's go ahead and roll this up here. HP, defense, and resistance. Basically, best case stats for a bolster set is what we're looking for. We do have this here as well. This is the Impulse set, which is basically like one of the best in slot speed sets these days, so I'm definitely going to be keeping it, especially considering it does now have a speed roll on it. We got a Zeal piece. This is going straight to 16, baby. This is perfect build for any sort of an HP-based nuker. Plus, the Zeal is giving you extra damage based on the HP they have. So you can easily work this in with some sort of like a, a nuke build or something like that. We got double crit rate and crit damage there, which is quite nice. This one I'm only going to take to 8 just because we would really need it to like quad roll the crit damage, which it doesn't. I generally like taking my pieces to 12 because at the end of the day, if I'm going to use this on a champion, I can always roll it up to 16 after I have it equipped on them. And if it's just going to be a Vault Guardian, essentially, or if it's going to be a vaulted piece of gear, it doesn't make much sense to upgrade it to 16 and have wasted that silver on something I'm not even going to use. These speed boots are going to go to 12 for sure, and then we're going to ascend them. Eesh. I don't know how many speed boots I have for Supersonic, though, so we are definitely going to keep that for the time being. This is a 5-star mythical chest plate. We're going to take it up and just see if we can get some double rolls, but we don't. So it's going to be a sell, unfortunately. 6-star supersonic chest plate. We do get a double roll. Ah, I don't think that's worth it. Even if it got a triple roll, I don't feel... Oh, oh, baby. I didn't even realize I had this piece on my account. Oh, baby. Let's see. Let's see if Raid can cuck me on this. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to turn away. I'm going to take it to 12, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, you ready? Here we go. I hear it's done. Let's go ahead and take a look. Got one roll into speed, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. I'm curious if somebody... Ooh, okay, maybe we're making up for it here, though. I'm curious if somebody... Ooh, we are making up for it a little bit. I'm curious if somebody knows the answer to this, but essentially, how is gear rolled in Raid? Like, is it... Does the system say, like... Does it look at this piece and does it say, you know what, we have HP, accuracy, speed, and HP percentage. Let's go ahead and, you know, 1 through 4, we pick 3. That's where we're landing. And that's where it gets upgraded. Or does it look at each slot and say, hey, I have a 25% chance of landing here. Do I roll it? No. All right. 25% chance of landing here. Do I roll it? No. Or no, it wouldn't be a 25. It would be like up to 33 or something like that now, right? Hey, do I land here? No. I have a 50% chance now of landing here. Do I do it? No. And then you get like your last roll, right? Because that could significantly impact your chances of upgrading, right? Because if it did do that secondary method where it basically goes through each substat and rolls to see if it'll land there, that means you'd want your speed rolls to be like up here because you're going to have the best chance of rolling on it, right? Like especially for multiple rolls, because statistically, if it's like waiting until all the way down here to see if it rolls it or not, the chances of that actually happening are very low. Though, knowing Plarium, I feel like they've put the least weight on speed rolls possible, because that is one of the most important stats in the game. Speed and accuracy are probably the most important stats in the game, in my opinion. You could definitely make a case for like resistances and stuff like that as well. But at the end of the day, if you don't get a turn, you're not doing anything. That's a very nice piece. So speed is definitely the most important stat, and then you can make your cases for any other stats after that. Even in today's meta, I have fairly extensive experience now. I'm in Gold 3 in the live arena, and if you don't have speed in the live arena, you are not winning. Simple as that, flat out. Being a tier 6 clan is quite nice because I do get some nice feral gear as well. So I haven't cleansed this feral gear at all previously. Let's go ahead and take a look here. This is a very oh baby, this is such a good piece. Feral has accuracy, speed, accuracy. So generally you wouldn't want necessarily like a nuke in feral unless it's also a nuker who can do a lot of debuffs and stuff like that. So for example, a Ramen 2 would be pretty juicy in it. Basically, anybody who's placing debuffs is kind of who you'd want in the feral set. That's a very nice piece there as well. This has crit damage and some resistance. I think we will still take it to 12, essentially, just to see if we get some triple rolls, but we don't, so that helmet's going to be a sell. There's another very nice piece. We'll take it to 12. We get some accuracy and some crit damage. That is essentially the equivalent of a double roll into accuracy, though, so we will be keeping that. This one's interesting. It could turn out to be for a nuker. Probably not going to keep it, just because on this particular set, I'm not really interested in having too many nukers built inside of it. Oh, baby, we're going to take this to 16. Come on, give me that accuracy. Give me that. Oh, yes. We got the accuracy roll, baby. This is going to be very good on somebody like, again, a Ramen 2 or something like that, right? So we're going to go ahead and sell this, and I believe it was this we were selling. Yes, and then the rest we were keeping. Now, let's go ahead and let's take a look at this Pinpoint set. First of all, let's talk about what it does. You're getting accuracy, speed, and intercept stacks. So basically what this is going to be going on is a champion that you want to go fast, and you don't want that champion to get polymorphed. So think Ramen 2, Armands, Lydia, Eostrid, Crixia, Warlord, any sort of a champion that is placing debuffs, increasing cooldowns, decreasing turn meter, any sort of a champion that does CC with inside the game. The reason for that is because Intercept is essentially just going to eat polymorph activations as well. So with the 4 on the 9-piece set, you're essentially just going to say, hey, every single champion on the enemy team can proc polymorph, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to strip you and I'm going to do my effect anyways, which is quite nice. So this, basically what you're looking for stats is like speed, accuracy, and then probably resistance and HP kind of in that order almost. Just because at the end of the day, you are looking mainly to have this on a debuff champion. I am okay spending some of my Chaos Ores on this as well, which we don't get speed boots, unfortunately, which is kind of what I was hoping for there. Chaos ores are good for high-value pieces, and I would definitely consider this a high-value set. So I definitely want to get myself... That's an okay piece, but definitely not keeping it. I want to try and get myself some decently fast pieces. That one's not going to cut it, though. It is fast. Not fast, sorry. It did roll into speed, but it's just not fast enough. This is a lower roll in speed. We get double resistance. Not really interested in that. This one doesn't even roll. Now, you might be wondering why my pinpoint gear is so trash, and the reason for that is I have not cleansed it whatsoever. I set my system, so I use RSL Helper. I can't think apparently. I use RSL Helper to dungeon farm, and it automatically decides what I sell. So I set it specifically to try and keep most of my pinpoint gear, almost all of my pinpoint gear. As a matter of fact, I just have it set to, hey, if it's pinpoint, keep it. And the reason for that is because I wanted to show you guys an accurate take on how much pinpoint gear the average player is going to get. So inside this dungeon so far, I've spent probably over 5,000 energy. I'm consistently farming stage 26 because that's the highest that I can push myself and reliably do it. I do need to sit down and get a better team to farm stage 30 at one point. And this is the gear that I've gotten in probably about 5,000 energy. Keep in mind, a lot of that energy, unfortunately, is going to go to just sets you don't want, right? Because there's a lot of other sets in that particular dungeon. I basically have... Ooh, there we go. There's some speed on a piece. I basically have it set just to sell any other set, just because I'm not interested in them. They're all trash sets, and I think, obviously, Plarium did that on purpose, but it is kind of nice because you're farming, essentially, silver at the same time. Get an actual accuracy roll here, and speed, which is quite nice, and we get one of each. I'll take it. And the rest of these pieces are probably going to go. I can definitely afford to be a little bit more picky with these pieces. Reason being is I can always farm more, right? So I can always just spend more energy. I can always just get more pinpoint. Whereas with, say, for example, Supersonic, it's significantly harder to try and get those pieces. This one, I'm actually going to go ahead and try to re-roll, because I'd much rather that be a speed roll. It's accuracy, speed? No. Choices. I think for the time being, I will actually end up keeping that. I'm going to go ahead and turn my air conditioner down a little bit too, or up, depending on how you want to think about it, because it's very warm in my room currently. We get not anything we want to see, so we are actually going to go ahead and sell that piece as well. So this is the gear that shows up inside the Just New. Let's also go ahead and roll some of the stone skin. I meant to come back to it, and then I completely forgot. So let's go ahead and see what kind of rolls we get. Double speed with an accuracy main stat. I will definitely be taking that. Thank you very much. This is a decent piece as well, with defense main, resistance, crit rate, and speed. If you know anything about champions inside the game, this would be a fantastic piece for a defense-based nuker. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take it 16. We get 2 flat stat attack rolls, but realistically it is a mythical chest plate from the stone skin. So I'm definitely going to be keeping it because I don't have very strong stone skin gear yet, and I'm always looking to essentially move up the threshold of the stone skin that I'm putting on champions like Marichka, Pythion if I decide to build them out in it, those sorts of things. Double attack roll there, flat stat attack at that. We're going to go ahead and roll this to 12 as well. Well, that's an okay piece. We got defense, accuracy. Not the best, though. But again, it is a mythical helmet, so we will be keeping it. There's probably a lot of gear in here that you guys are like, why are you selling it? Why are you selling it? This is so good. And again, you know, take my cleanse with a bit of grain of salt. End game, late game player. I'm going to be selling some things that you probably wouldn't. I am essentially just going to go ahead and sell this piece because the other one is just simply better, even though we had 1 less speed on it. But at the end of the day, I'm not min-maxing the speed at this particular point on my stone skin sets, because if I really want more speed, I'll essentially just, you know, glyph it. Got crit rate, accuracy, speed. There we go, baby. That glyph was actually worth it. We're going to take it to 16. Speed? No, of course not. But we do get accuracy. That's an acceptable substitution. I will take that. And what do we got here? We got speed, low roll, though, so we're only going to take it to 8. We need this to triple. Yeah, no, screw you. Get out of here. Now, let's go ahead and let's also scroll through here to the pinpoint, because I know there's going to be some pieces that I didn't get a chance to cleanse, They just don't show up inside the new pieces. So let's go ahead and do that now. We have HP boots with speed substats. They don't roll into it, though. We are going to go ahead and we are going to rework this as well and hope for a speed main stat, which we don't get. So screw you. You're out of here. You're getting sold, buddy. We're probably going to sell all of these. Yeah, this is all just junk. And as you can see, this is the rest of the Pinpoint set that I have. So realistically, consider that this is what 5,000 energy gets you roughly. Like, it is atrocious. Drop rates are definitely not that good. I did get, I believe, one mythical chest plate or something like that from it, but it wasn't good. I did roll it at the time because why wouldn't I? And it wasn't good. Triple into crit damage there. We will actually rework this because if we can get like a triple into speed or something like that, that would be pretty juicy. Come on, come on, come on. How you gonna do me like this, Plarium? How you gonna do me like this? This one does actually have speed on it though too. That's the only weapon I have that has speed on it though, so we are actually gonna go ahead and keep that, as sad as that might be. Almost sold another piece with speed on it there. This one, really only useful if we hit like a triple roll and we can rework it, which we don't, so we're going to sell it. Last piece right here. Doesn't have speed. Go ahead and take it to 8 though and see. Nah, not interested in it. No bueno. So 5,000 energy later and I have roughly 6 pieces from the dungeon. 4 of which are a weapon, 1 helmet, and 1 shield. We do get pretty good drop rates on accessories, though, so that's definitely acceptable. No speed boots, no crazy rolls on the Pinpoint yet. I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot of that because I need something for my thumbnail. Thank you guys all so much for watching, though. Let me know if there's any specific content you want to see on the channel, any gear sets you want to see me cleanse, or anything in particular you want to see me do inside the game, and I'll see you guys next time.